December 22nd, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a 5-hour standoff with police in Trumbull and a Darien police veteran retiring. It's also Front Page Thursday, so our editorial director John Kovach will join me later to preview our front pages this week. Frank Granito will have a look at the forecast in a Nutmeg sports update, and Donald Eng joins us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Trumbull police arrested a domestic violence suspect after a 5-hour standoff with police this morning. According to police spokesman Keith Golding, a woman called 911 just before 1 in the morning and reported being assaulted by her husband, 31-year-old Eric Dunn. She said Dunn had struck her and threatened to shoot anyone that entered the house. She told police that Dunn owned a handgun and she had fled the house with one of her children, and police found her and a 4-year-old child hiding in a vehicle outside of the house. A 2-year-old remained inside with Dunn. The emergency response team cordoned off the area and made contact with Dunn, who surrendered at about 6 a.m. this morning. Police say they recovered several handguns from the house. Dunn is currently being held on a $100,000 bond and is scheduled to be arraigned in court today on assault charges. And the Stanford Advocate reports that one family has been displaced from their home for the holidays and 2 people were injured during a blaze Wednesday afternoon. The first arriving firefighters found heavy smoke coming from a single-family home on 28 Underhill Street just after 4. The Stanford Fire Department said in a news release that crews made an aggressive attack and found heavy fire in the basement, but were soon forced to withdraw due to dangerous arcing electrical equipment. After Eversource cut power to the building, crews were able to resume fighting the fire. Officials said the fire spread through the walls to both the 2nd and 3rd floors. That fire required a second alarm, bringing a total of 4 engines, 2 aerials, and 1 command vehicle manned by 30 firefighters from 5 stations. A firefighter and the 48-year-old son of the homeowner were taken to the hospital, but both were released with minor injuries. And a Sandy Hook man has been arrested for displaying a handgun during a road rage incident Wednesday morning. Police said that 34-year-old Alan Reedy was on I-84 eastbound around 8:30 in the morning in the area of Harper's Ferry Road when he allegedly displayed a handgun to another driver. Troopers responded to the area and located the suspected vehicle, a 2016 Ford Explorer, near exit 26. Troopers stopped the vehicle and initiated an investigation. They located and seized a handgun, and with the assistance of the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection officers, took Reedy into custody. He's charged with threatening and conspiracy to commit breach of peace. And the Valley Independent Sentinel reports that Derby police seized $1.5 million of drugs during a motor vehicle stop on Wednesday. In a statement from Derby Police Lieutenant Justin Stanko, they said this happened at about 10:52 in the morning. Derby police stopped a tractor trailer heading west on Route 34. A subsequent investigation by Derby police led to the discovery of approximately 55 pounds of fentanyl in the cab. This has an estimated street value of about $1.5 million. Fentanyl is a potent synthetic opioid often mixed with or substituted for heroin. Its possession and use are governed strictly by the Federal Controlled Substances Act. Stanko said the truck's driver was identified as a 47-year-old man, and he was detained and turned over to agents from the New Haven office of the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration. A spokesman for federal prosecutors told the Valley Indy that as of 1:30 Wednesday, no federal charges had been filed in that case. And in some news this morning from Ansonia police, they received a complaint last night of an assault and robbery of a food delivery truck driver where the suspect stole the victim's car. They say that victim was attempting to deliver food to an address on Dwight Street when he was approached by 3 black males, 2 of which assaulted him while the 3rd took the car. One of the suspects was armed with a handgun, and the victim could not provide any further description of those suspects. All 3 then left the scene in the victim's car. That victim suffered head and facial injuries, and he was treated at Griffin Hospital and released. The stolen car is a 2009 Honda Accord 4-door, color black, with a New York registration plate of HBY 5939. The suspects are considered armed and dangerous. If the car is seen, police say do not approach it, but contact police immediately. And in other news today, Darien Police Chief Dwayne Lavello, a 35-year veteran of the Darien Police Department, will retire on February 15, 2017. Lavello notified the Darien Police Commission and First Selectman Jamie Stevenson of his decision earlier this week. Lovello told the Darien Times that it's just time. He said, "I've had a career that was challenging, rewarding, and fulfilling. I'm going to miss it, but it's the right time for me to move on." Lovello began his career with the department in December of 1981. He was then transferred to the detective division in October of 1986 and was promoted to sergeant in July of 1993. And you can get more information on his full career at DarienTimes.com. And in other Darien news, police are investigating a smash and grab burglary at Frat's Wine and Liquors at 1937 Post Road. A neighboring business owner contacted police during the morning of December 15th after discovering the front window of Frat's had been broken overnight. Police say a large rock had apparently been used to break the glass, knocking over several bottles of liquor in the process. Surveillance video showed a car pulling up to the east side of the building just after 3:30 in the morning and a single suspect then breaking that glass. The suspect entered through the window, emptied the register cash drawer, and left immediately, leaving in the same car. Employees confirmed that about $375 in cash was taken and the window damage is valued at $2,000. Police said the suspect is believed to be a heavy-set white male, and Stamford police have received similar reports of smash and grab burglaries. And the Ridgefield Press reports that the first selectman there is apparently troubled by some behavior in the fire department. First Selectman Rudy Marconi has called a joint special meeting of the Board of Selectmen and Fire Commission this morning for a possible executive session to discuss a personnel matter in regards to a violation of town policy. That meeting was scheduled for this morning at 8:45 a.m. in Town Hall. It was open to the public at the start, and then the selectmen closed it and went into executive session to discuss that personnel matter. You can check for updates on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. But let's throw it over to a more conservatively dressed Frank Granito. He is not in his Christmas suit today, unfortunately, but he's got the tie.
Only one Christmas suit in the closet, unfortunately. But looking at today's weather, Kate, we'll see temperatures reach up into the mid-40s, but that number is going to feel closer to 30 with increasing winds later on this afternoon. We could see gusts up into the 30-mile-per-hour range, and there is a chance for an early afternoon rain or snow shower in parts of the county before clearing up later on in the day as we head towards the holiday weekend. Tomorrow will be a beautiful start to that holiday weekend with plenty of sunshine all day long and an expected high of 44 degrees, a light breeze between 7 to 10 miles per hour in the afternoon, and then some cloud cover moving in overnight before a wet Christmas Eve. Saturday we'll see periods of on and off rain early in the morning and through the early afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to high 40s, but skies will start to clear up in the late afternoon and overnight before what will be a warm and mostly sunny Christmas Day.
Frank, thank you. We are going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Dang takes a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news after this.
Hi folks, this is Dr. Jeffrey Hubscher from the Noah's Ark Animal Hospital in Danbury and the South Salem Animal Hospital. There's something new and important going on at our two hospitals and probably eventually everywhere. It's called Fear Free. That means making sure that our pets are no longer frightened or stressed at the vet. We are Fear Free certified, the only ones in the area. We have the softer, gentler, better approach. Come see us at Noah's Ark Animal Hospital in Danbury or South Salem Animal Hospital.
Would you like to be able to help in an emergency? Do you know what to do when a family member is in distress? Learn life-saving skills and become a certified EMT in New Canaan. Whether you're looking for a career in healthcare or you want to give back to your community, the training is invaluable. The New Canaan Volunteer Ambulance Corps is offering an EMT certification course starting on January 16th, 2 nights a week and some Saturdays. It's filling up quickly, so call 203-594-3535 to get involved. New Canaan Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Neighbors helping neighbors. Find out more at ncvac.org.
This holiday season, the Glass House Design Store offers an edited selection of gifts, objects, and artist editions that represent the iconic Philip Johnson House. The store offers unique and specially sourced objects locally and from around the world, and proceeds from the design store help support preservation projects at the Glass House property. Shop the design store at the Glass House Visitor Center in New Canaan, now open through November 30th, and available anytime online at designstore.theglasshouse.org.
The holidays are a wonderful time to spend with families and friends, sharing a fantastic meal. Football season is in full swing, the fishing has been unbelievable, and it's time to make a list and check it twice. Stop at the Dock Shop, get a fix of summer, and browse loads of new products, including fishing tackle, accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or dockshop.com.
At That Personal Touch in New Canaan, we have personalized gifts for all occasions. Family owned since 1983, we specialize in expert engraving done on premises. From engraved sterling silver and pewter frames, wood cutting boards, slate cheese servers and trays, leather embossing, crystal engraving, and glassware, every gift becomes unique and personal. And just in time for the season, we have a variety of personalized Christmas ornaments. Visit That Personal Touch at 102 Main Street in New Canaan and at tptengravers.com.
What's happening up in Hartford and what's trending in the Nutmeg State?
Join Kate Czaplinski
And Josh Fisher
on CT Pulse live Wednesdays at 12:30 to find out.
We talk to the leaders and newsmakers while breaking down the stories you should be paying attention to each week.
With the help of HAN's editorial cartoonist Doug Smith, we take a humorous look at the news of the week. We talk about everything you were told you should avoid bringing up in polite company.
CT Pulse, Wednesdays at 12:30 on the HAN Network. Welcome back to this December 22nd edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. And it's time to take a look back on this day in history, our final look back before Christmas with Donald Ing.
Well, Kate, if you're going to be traveling this holiday season, the arch-villain has an anniversary date today. First, though, we go to 1807, the Embargo Act, which prohibits trade with all foreign nations. Passed by Congress at the urging of President Thomas Jefferson, it was enacted in response to attacks on U.S. shipping during the Napoleonic Wars, especially the British habit of pressing, that is, kidnapping American sailors on the high seas. Just 1 year later, 1808, Beethoven conducts and performs in concert at the theater in Anderveen, Vienna, the premiere of his 5th and 6th symphonies, 4th piano concerto, and choral fantasy, the last 2 of which he actually performed himself, this despite being almost completely deaf by this time. 1944, at the Battle of the Bulge, German troops demand the surrender of Americans at Bastogne, Belgium. General Anthony McAuliffe crumpled up the paper and angrily replied, "Nuts." The Germans were expecting a written response. McAuliffe's staff could not decide how to properly express the general's feelings, so they simply wrote the one-word reply on the original ultimatum. The German messenger asked how he should interpret the response, and the staff replied, "It means go to hell." Finally, now we go to 2001 for this.
Witnesses say the man in the back seat, being moved by law enforcement officers late Saturday night, may have been trying to ignite an explosive device aboard an American Airlines flight. He was subdued after flight attendants smelled the sulfur from a lit match. Several passengers jumped up to help.
Then we were like 3, 4, 5. I don't remember exactly how many of us there were, like to grab his arms, keep him sit in his seat, and after that we tied him up with everything that we had, like belts. We took belts from passengers.
Witnesses say he resisted, becoming violent and biting a flight attendant's hand. Once restrained, he was sedated by 2 doctors on board, using drugs from the plane's medical kit. Officials say it appears he was carrying explosives in the heel of his...
15 years ago today, Richard Reed attempts to destroy a passenger airliner by igniting explosives he had hidden in the heel of his shoes. He would later plead guilty to 8 criminal counts of terrorism based on an attempt to destroy a commercial aircraft in flight. Sentenced to 3 life terms plus 110 years in prison without possibility of parole. Still only 43 years old, likely to be spending a whole lot more time in jail. And, for everyone that has to take their shoes off to go through customs, well deserved. As you look back in history today, December 22nd, I'm Donald Ing.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, we'll see you in the new year. All right, in other local news, 47 students who currently attend Joel Barlow High School are trained to help identify those around them who might be in need of mental health support, thanks to a program that's been offered there for the last 2 years. Youth Mental Health First Aid Training is in its 2nd year of operation at Barlow and is run by school social worker Marianne Parati. Parati said that kids talk to other kids before they ever come to a counselor. She said they're not training them to become counselors, but to know when they should come to an adult. Students involved in that program attend a day-long training session as an in-school field trip, Parati said, and then follow up on their skills 5 to 6 times a year on academy days at the school. But let's throw it back over to Frank Granito for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. A couple of big hockey games around the state yesterday featuring FCIAC teams. And we start down in Darien, where we had a rematch of last year's state championship game between Fairfield Prep and Darien. For the second game in a row, the Jesuits were forced to play overtime against an FCIAC opponent, but this time around, Prep was able to come out on top, coming back from a 2-0 deficit to defeat Darien 3-2 in overtime. Up in Hamden, two of the top teams in the state took to the ice for an early season battle when the Hamden Green Dragons hosted the New Canaan Rams. Thanks to another 2-goal performance from Tyler Hill, an insurance goal from Brooks Gamble, and a 16-save shutout by Peter Windus, the Rams took down Hamden 3-0 to improve to 2-0 on the early season. Our own Dave Stewart was in the building last night and got some footage from the Rams win. Let's take a look right now. So congratulations again to New Canaan on the big win, and thank you again to Dave Stewart for that footage. Other scores from around the conference yesterday included Fairfield Co-op beating Brantford 7-3, West Hill and Stanford beating Kinglow Haywood 8-5, Trumbull topped Milford 6-2, and it was Xavier with another win over an FCIAC opponent, this time defeating St. Joe's 4-1. In boys wrestling, Trumbull High clinched a 35-30 victory over Greenwich High Wednesday thanks to Michael Greco's 5-1 decision in his 170-pound bout. Also posting wins for Trumbull were Brett Nutter, Jack Ryan, Matt Ryan, Garrett Sollenberger, Tristan Haviland, Alex Greco, and Michael Mermana as Trumbull continued to roll early on this season. And finally, looking at some boys basketball scores from yesterday, Wilton defeated Pomperog 67-63. McMahon over Stratford 78-75. Ward beat New Milford 85-68. Norwalk bested Newtown 54-39. And Trinity Catholic, a winner again early on in the season, they defeated Colby Cathedral 69-55. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update, but tune back into Nutmeg Sports this afternoon at 2 o'clock. John Kovach, Donald Ang, Kevin Coleman will all join me as we look at some of the scores from yesterday and recap our favorite memories from our fall season. All that coming up at 2. Let's go back over to Kate, though, for now.
All right, thanks, Frank. Well, getting back to local news, a dog park may be coming to Reading if a young resident's idea is accepted by the town. Max Dagenalt, a Joe Barlow High School junior, proposed the construction of a modest dog park near the Reading Community Center at Monday's Board of Selectmen meeting. His dog park idea was previously given the go-ahead by Reading Parks and Recreation Commission and will now be passed on to the Planning Commission for review. Dagenalt said he plans to fund the construction of the dog park by soliciting donations. That proposed park would be located behind the Reading Historic Society's Onion Field near the community gardens on Route 107. You can get more information at thereadingpilot.com. And the Fairfield community and local residents are invited to take a polar plunge into the waters of Jennings Beach on Sunday, January 1st to benefit Fairfield-based Save the Children. The 13th annual Save the Children Star Shine Plunge begins at 10 a.m. and participants are asked to arrive by 9:30 at Jennings Beach. That's at South Benson Road in Fairfield. Interested area residents may register in advance at active.com. Registration does close on Saturday, December 31st at noon. All proceeds from the Icy Dip will go toward Save the Children programs. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, John Kovach joins me to preview the front pages of our papers this week after this.
At Hoyt Livery, our goal is to always... Tim, what are you doing? We're filming a commercial.
I'm checking out the new Hoyt on the Go app.
Hoyt's here!
What makes Darien special during the holiday season? Locally owned shops and restaurants where you can find everything you need to make your holidays more enjoyable. Start with breakfast, then shop for everything from toys to unique gifts and the latest trends in fashion. Take a coffee break. Stop at our farmers market or one of our shops where you'll find an amazing selection of cheeses and meats. Then enjoy dining at one of our fabulous restaurants. This holiday season, experience shopping and dining in Darien.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan, and you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Why cook it all this holiday? Avoid the stress of holiday planning and let your friends at Walter Stewart's in New Canaan do the heavy lifting. Whether you're looking to fill in with a few crowd-pleasing sides or you want us to prepare your whole feast, from cranberry sauce to pumpkin pie, we're ready to simplify your holiday. Place your order from our holiday menu and spend your holiday the right way, relaxing. Our fresh prepared holiday meals to go are designed with your busy schedule in mind. Visit us at stewartsmarket.com or at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Give the gift of fitness to someone you love this holiday season for only $1 a day. Halo Fitness in New Canaan is now offering 1 year of fitness for only $365. Halo Fitness is a state-of-the-art fitness center located at Halo Studios in the heart of New Canaan, with ample free parking and brand new locker rooms. Keep someone you love healthy with a gift of fitness this holiday season. Halo Fitness Holiday Special available for purchase during the month of December only.
We're back on this Thursday edition of Your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, joined by John Kovach to preview the pre-Christmas edition of our papers this week.
One of my favorite, because I've always viewed the Christmas week edition as kind of like our Christmas card to the readers.
Yeah.
Try to get a festive photo up there, something seasonally related. And you get that in the Easton Courier with a great shot by Nancy Doniger from the balcony. This at the Congregational Church in Easton. Also a kind of a cool story about a snowman, that in the Easton Courier.
Well, a lot of news in the Shelton Herald this week, John. A lot we talked about yesterday on Coffee Break and CT Pulse. One of those being a winter solstice sign, which is really kind of about an anti-religion sign that won the illegal battle to be up in Huntington Center. So story on that. Serious story of a bus driver arrested for falling asleep while driving on his bus route last Friday. And so a nice holiday photo of a display up in Constitution Park. And some more great local news, including that data showing no reason to expect a strain on the police department.
That's a fire
department.
Sorry,
Chief
Kate.
Fran Jones. Sorry about that. Yes.
That is, one of the departments put out a fundraising memo and said that they would need more money because development on Bridgeport Avenue would strain their resources. And the chief of the whole operation is saying, well, that's not really what our data historically shows. Interesting story.
Yeah.
I read that with a great degree of interest because it's kind of an interesting debate there. In Milford, promises to fix the long time flooding problem on Naugatuck Avenue. The lighting of a giant ice menorah, and they're going to light that on the 27th. Hanukkah does begin on the 24th. The law principal is going to have his head shaved for the United Way, and a movie shot in Milford, one of the Christmas movies. They're everywhere this time of year. Christmas All Over Again. That was shot in Milford. That's about to come out on DVD.
All right, taking a look at the Stratford Star. Some Eli Whitney Elementary School students spreading some cheer at the Stratford Board of Education this week. Residents hear details of complete streets concepts and neighbors blasting a Ferry Boulevard transit-oriented development proposal there.
In Monroe, a discussion that they just had in Ridgefield about food trucks and food truck laws, and a brewery that wants to have food trucks there, and the discussion of what's allowed with these roving vendors. A grant to the health department, part-time pay discussed by the town council, and a great shot of a young girl being hugged by Santa as the firefighters gave Santa a lift around Monroe.
All right, well, taking a look at the Trumbull Times, the members of the Golden Eagle Marching Band, they played some holiday music during a day-long coat drive there. And as we mentioned earlier this week, Roger McGovern, that embattled Trumbull Police Commissioner, facing an ethics public hearing. And a great story, Gillian Anderson, whose daughter killed herself a few years back, is now working for an organization that's fighting teen depression and suicide, trying to raise awareness about it. We do hope to have Gillian on the HAN network in the new year as well. We're working on that. Just a really incredible story and very inspiring.
In New Canaan, a number of things going on, including the ongoing legal jousting between Grace Farms and its neighbors, who want an amended permit denied for the former farm that's been taken over by a religious organization and is being used as kind of a community activities area. Discussion of student activities accounts at New Canaan High School and the other schools in New Canaan that involved a police investigation that resulted in no charges. The Woods of New Canaan, as being enjoyed by Jim Fowler of Wild Kingdom fame, his wife Betsy, a wildlife artist, and members of the New Canaan Land Trust. Very, very handsome and dignified decorations on a white oak shade roadhouse. And coming up on the 24th, the menorah lighting and the annual caroling on God's Acre. They're both on God's Acre. Everybody will be coming together there. What's really cool is that Christmas caroling is funded by the people. It's small donations, and they urge small donations so that everybody can be a part of it.
So cool. All right, well, taking a look at the front page of the Wilton Bulletin, Brian Hafley always has amazing photos in our papers, and I just love this one. This is from the Great Trains Holiday Exhibit at the Wilton Historical Society on Danbury Road. I mean, because how more adorably could this little boy be dressed for looking
awesome,
at trains?
isn't it?
I mean, it's great. And by the way, that's Storm King DeSantis of Reading checking out those trains. So very cool photo there. Wilton schools may also go solar. Exploring that possibility. And in the Wilton Fire Department, an apparatus supervisor mechanic will retire after 37 years.
Wreaths Across America stopped in Darien at Spring Grove Cemetery, which is a large veteran cemetery right there on the post road. And Laureen Valenti captured this wonderful photo of two scouts who helped lay the wreaths on the fallen soldiers' graves, saluting. Just a really touching photo there. An update from the Commission on Aging, and a story about a Darien postal worker who makes sure that these college acceptance letters and other good news get to the people when they're waiting for them.
That's a cool story. All right, well, the Ridgefield Press always has a wonderful holiday edition, and this year is no different. That snow over the weekend provided a perfect backdrop for Santa when he was at Twixt Hills in that neighborhood over the weekend. Really cool photo there. I kind of wish we'd have a white Christmas again, but Frank Renito says that's not going to happen, so we trust him on that. Also, Town Angels brightening the holidays. Just some stories about how many people have helped out and all the good that's been done this holiday season. So very cool story there.
In the Reading pilot, the proposal to build a dog park near the community center, and the ongoing story of these horses that were found emaciated, were seized by the State Department of Agriculture, and are now ready to be adopted. It's good to see that they've recovered.
It is good to see. All right, well, the Weston Forum, we're already talking about first night celebrations, Westport's big first night. That's going to feature fireworks and a lot more. Santa also came to town during the Weston Historical Society's Victorian Christmas Open House last week. Route 57 construction continuing into January, and a really great photo of 2 dogs, and it's a story about cost estimates done for a proposed dog park, but that's a pretty cool photo.
It is
They
kind
look
of a
like
cool
they should
shot.
be pulling a sled.
And Arts and Leisure will serve up some warm mulled wine, and Chubby Checker's coming to town, so everybody will be doing the twist. Kate and I will not as we come back.
See, mine has sparkles on it. I don't know if you see that.
I see that, and that's fitting that yours has sparkles.
All right,
does
John.
not.
Well, thank you for joining me. We'll be back next week.
I will not.
I will be here, though, next Thursday. But we are going to wrap things up here. There's no coffee break tomorrow, but we'll be back next Tuesday with the latest local news, sports, and more. So be sure to check it out. Wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and just enjoy the holiday. We'll see you next time.